How is it going, my heroes, my villains, and everybody in between? Sean Ross here, and welcome back, guys, to another live reaction to My Hero Academia. We are on manga chapter number 322, and it looks like our boy Bakugo is going to be front and center because the title is Great Explosion Murder God, Dynamight.
You're a total failure, Deku.
Don't think you can look down on me! Huh? Got that? I was fine by myself! If you keep looking down on everyone else, you'll never be able to see your own weaknesses.
If you have mutual respect and focus on making one another stronger, you'll become the ultimate heroes, and both of your dreams will be achieved. You can win and save people at the same time.
This is all my fault. Everything that's happened is because of me!
Let's go. This title right here has me very excited, and I am hoping this means we will be diving into the long-awaited conversation between Deku and Bakugo. Because coming off of last chapter, Bakugo stated he has a lot that he needs to say to Deku, but he realized he cannot be the one to reach out to him. It had to be somebody else. And much like how Kirishima was for Bakugo, Class President Iida had to be the one for Deku. So with the help of Class A bringing back the Camino ice ramp, they were able to launch Iida up towards Deku. Iida grabbed a hold of Deku's hand and reminded him of the words,
Meddling when you don't need to is the essence of being a hero!
And it looks like through Class A's efforts, they are finally beginning to break through to Deku. So going into this chapter, if we are in fact following up Iida's words and actions with Bakugo's, I am excited and very curious to see what Bakugo will say to Deku. So, mount ladies and gentle criminals, without further ado, let's dive right into chapter 322. And here we go. Picking up right where last chapter left off, and we can see Deku just floating in midair with the raindrops just frozen in place around him. But we can see that Iida is still holding on to Deku's hand as Deku just stares at Iida with those tears welling up in his eyes. I have to free myself from his grasp, but I don't have the strength left to do so. And right now, Deku is just too exhausted to fight back at this point.
Release!
And now we got Ochako putting her hands together and saying release, removing the zero gravity from Iida. And we see these two rocketing across the city skyline at Mach speed.
Landing should be a piece of cake, right? Right!
Yo, Ochaco's wasting no time at all right now. Gravity is now in effect, and these two are about to crash down into the streets below. How can I stick this landing? Kirishima! And right before they crash, Iida notices Kirishima running in the streets, waving his hands to get in position as he shouts, I got it. I got it.
More! Stronger! Body and spirit! Mine.
There we go, Kirishima, stepping up in this moment. We see a gigantic crash in the streets with dust and debris flying everywhere as Aoyama and Hagakure run on scene shouting, whoa, are you okay? But then we see our man Kirishima go sliding back as he catches Iida and Deku in his arms and says, I won't break. Kirishima being a man right now, becoming that unbreakable wall in this moment as he saves his friends from their crash landing. Let's go. Midoriya, a while back, this one story threw me for a loop. Some kid my age dashed into danger to save a pal. It had to be you, right? Yo, and Kirishima is wasting no time right now, bringing up the moment when Deku rushed in to save Bakugo from the sludge villain.
In the spring,
Guy the same age as me was in the news for fighting back against a villain. Everyone was talking about him. But there were witnesses who said that just before All Might showed up, another kid, his friend maybe, rushed in to help. I won't freeze like that again. Ever.
That didn't have squat to do with special powers or anything. What you did back then is the same sort of action we're taking for you now. Exactly, Kirishima. I am so glad he's bringing up that moment from his past, because it really does go to show that even without the special power of One for All, quirkless Deku was able to inspire the people around him through his actions, and he kinda helped inspire Kirishima to become the man that he is today, and got him out of a dark place. And now we have Kirishima kind of returning the favor, trying to get Deku out of a dark place through similar actions. That right there is great to see coming from Kirishima.
I'm alive.
And we just see Iida staring at Kirishima with that shocked look on his face saying, "Stellar positioning on your part, Kirishima. Just happened to be there while following Endeavor's orders, dude." Hey! So he wasn't even supposed to be there. That was all improvised. Kirishima was at the right place at the right time, and it's a good thing that he was. But as Kirishima says that, we see the rest of Class A begin to roll up on scene.
Let's go, Class A!
Now we see Ashido huffing and puffing and beginning to wipe some tears away. Midoriya, I can't stand the thought of losing anyone else, okay? So won't you stick with us? We've got classes to attend and stuff. And she is talking about Midnight and the people that they have lost. Basically saying they don't want to lose Deku in the same way that they lost Midnight. R.I.P. to Midnight. Her death is really weighing heavily over Class A right now. But as Ashido is pleading this to Deku, we see him kind of stumbling to his feet as Kirishima's like, "Whoa there, Midoriya." Just look at Deku in this panel. He looks like he is standing while unconscious right here. You just see the white of his eyes shining through the shadows on his face, but he's just standing through willpower and determination right now. I'd like that. But I'm too scared for all the people at UA. I don't want to make trouble for anyone else. Things just can't go back to how they used to be. Not anymore. And we can see Bakugo standing before Deku while he is saying this.
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm!
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
Hey, remember what I said when Shigaraki made Swiss cheese out of me?
Nope.
No, I don't. Yeah, Deku is completely exhausted and out of it at this point. There are no pupils visible in his eyes while Bakugo is trying to talk with him. It was, stop trying to win this on your own. But I had more to say. I needed to tell you that I got stabbed because my body moved on its own.
There are stories about every hero, how they became great. Most have one thing in common. Their bodies moved before they had a chance to think, almost on their own.
Hurry up. Go. You damn nerd.
Bakugo's body moved before he even had a chance to think. He rushed in to save Deku without any hesitation, and he wants Deku to know that.
You're a total failure, Deku.
No. Oh, I like where this is going, Horikoshi. As Bakugo is talking to Deku, as well as bringing up some flashback moments, we can see them reverting back to their childhood selves. And we have Bakugo flashing back to when Deku found out he was quirkless, as well as the moment when little Deku rushed in to lend Bakugo that helping hand when he fell into the water.
I was just fine on my own, Deku. I didn't need your stupid help.
Are you alright? Are you hurt?
But you looked at me like I was some kind of weakling. Like you! But I'm not! I'm so much better than you are!
You know, I always looked down on you because you were quirkless. You were supposed to be beneath me, but I kept feeling like you were above me. I hated it. I couldn't bear to look at you. I couldn't accept the way you were. So I kept you at arm's length and was mean to you. And now we see them in their middle school uniforms. I tried to act all superior by rejecting you, but I kept losing that fight. Since we got into UA, nothing's worked out how I thought it would. And now we see them in their UA uniforms. And if you look at Deku, his pupils are starting to get more visible as Bakugo is talking with him. Instead, this past year forced me to understand your strength and my weakness. Now, I don't expect this to change a thing between us, but I gotta speak my truth. Izuku, I'm sorry for everything.
Wow, you're so lucky! Your quirk is amazing, Kachan! When I get mine, I hope it's just as cool!
Whatever, Deku. No matter what power you end up with, you'll never be able to beat me.
Listen up, Deku! You're even worse than the rest of these damn rejects, you quirkless wannabe! You really think they let someone like you in when they could have me? I wanna know what made All Might give his power to a loser like you. Let me see for myself. If you keep looking down on everyone else, you'll never be able to see your own weaknesses. I'm sorry, Deku. This is all my fault. Everything that's happened is because of me!
Yo. It happened. It finally happened. The moment we have all been waiting for has now come to pass. We just get a full-page panel shot of Bakugo bowing to Deku in the rain and finally apologizing to Deku for everything.
No way! I don't believe it!
Damn. I honestly can't believe we are finally here at this moment. This has been 322 chapters in the making, going through Bakugo's progression and character development, and it has finally brought us to this moment. Big congrats to Bakugo for finally being able to do this, but big congrats to Horikoshi on how he executed this. I love the added touch of getting to see Deku and Bakugo reverting back to their childhood selves and going through the phases of their lives through middle school, through UA, and into the present as Bakugo apologizes. That is an excellent and amazing touch. But not only did we get Bakugo apologizing, but he is doing this in front of all of Class 1A, but he also referred to Deku as Izuku. He called him by his actual name. That word has never passed through Bakugo's lips from what we have seen in the series. The only time he has ever called Deku Izuku was when he was a kid before he started calling him Deku, and even back in episode 1 when he referred to him as defenseless Izuku.
Jesus, Zuku. You really can't do anything right, can you? Look, you can read the last part of Izuku's name as Deku. That must be what you call a helpless loser who's completely useless.
Defenseless Izuku! The school's already crappy. You really want to embarrass it more by failing so hard?
This right here is an excellent start by having Bakugo recognize and apologize for everything he put Deku through. Amazing.
What did you say?
And just look at Deku's face right here. You can see his pupil returning to his eye fully as he's beginning to realize and is kind of shocked with what he's hearing from Bakugo in this moment. There's nothing wrong with the path you've been walking down since inheriting One for All and following All Might's lead. But now, you're barely standing, and those ideals alone ain't enough to get you over the wall you're facing. We're here to step in when you can't handle it all on your own. Because to live up to those ideals and surpass All Might, we gotta save you, the civilians at UA, and the people on the streets. Because saving people is how we win.
If you have mutual respect and focus on making one another stronger, You'll become the ultimate heroes, and both of your dreams will be achieved. You can win and save people at the same time.
Everyone has always been way ahead of me. And after hearing all of this from Bakugo, it looks like Deku is on the verge of tears yet again. I said you all couldn't keep up with me. I'm so sorry I said something so awful. And it looks like Deku is stumbling a bit as he is moving forward. And in that moment, we see Bakugo rush in, catching Deku before he can hit the ground. And all Bakugo says is, "We get it."
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
You got knocked the fuck out, man!
And just like that, Deku passes the hell out. His body gives in to his exhaustion, and it looks like Class A is victorious in their fight against Deku and will be able to bring him back to UA. But as Bakugo catches Deku, we see panel shots of Shoto and Sato watching this go down, as well as Ojiro and Jiro getting ready to assist Bakugo as they move in. Hey! But behind them, we just see Ochako standing there watching this go down.
Listen!
As Momo says, with that, our first challenge is cleared, but the road ahead will be perilous. And Ochako turns to look back at Deku saying, "Yeah," as the panel fades to black.
Later that same evening.
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Oh, he's waking up. 13, he's up. Ah, that's great. Can you hear me, Midoriya? Yes. And we got 13 greeting the students out front, and we are getting a full-on face reveal for 13. Which, her face was teased at the end of the war arc when she had that crack in her helmet. Now we actually get to see what she looks like underneath the helmet, and she doesn't look that bad. She looks very pretty, dare I say, out of this world. Though, I can't be the only one that is still surprised and shocked that 13 managed to survive.
How are you not dead?
I have no idea!
I honestly thought we lost her when Shigaraki was decaying the entire hospital, but somehow, some way, maybe through her black hole quirk, she was able to survive that situation. At present, most civilians have moved into evacuation shelters across the country. The majority of the holdouts are anti-hero protesters who formed vigilante corps, or violent pillagers, simply riding the wave of the escaped convicts.
Behold.
What?
Yo!
What the fuck?
Don't you know about the school's defenses? This gate is the UA barrier.
Where does the school even get the funding for these things?
This is a lot more impressive than the UA barrier we saw at the very beginning of the series.
Oh, my sweet Jesus.
God damn.
That's rad.
This thing is gigantic. It is a freaking skyscraper. You can see Class A down at the very bottom approaching the gates. They look like ants compared to this fortress, this new UA barrier.
Welcome.
Nezu really pulled out all the stops and really updated their security. This is very impressive. Every day, more people grow weary of the anti-hero ideology and decide to move into shelters. Meanwhile, most of the violent radicals end up forming gangs that are easy enough to track down. The mass evacuation continues amidst the violence, and personnel are assigned to deal with one effort or the other. Everyone is doing their utmost to improve this situation. As for the aid you are providing out there, other heroes and the police are now able to take on that burden.
What the fuck?
This is UA? And Deku is like me right now, shocked to see how gigantic this new UA barrier actually is. And we can see that Shoji was the one carrying Deku while he was unconscious. And we got Sero saying, the UA barrier's out in full force, and this giant wall is just the tip of the iceberg. And we got Hagakure saying, you'll freak when you hear the deets about this system. They say we can combine with Shiketsu.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
What? What does she mean, combine with Shiketsu? Can this barrier transform?
You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
I need to know what Hagakure means by the word combine with this barrier. Of course, I want to honor Class A's feelings about all this. But, no, I can't come back. And that look on Deku's face just says it all. He doesn't want to be back here because his presence will put every teacher, student, and civilian in danger, and it'll be all because of him. But as Deku says this, 13 is hearing something in the distance and says, what's all that noise? Don't let that boy take one step into UA.
Who's number 46,853?
Get the fuck out of here!
And there we go. We have all of the civilians taking shelter at UA, protesting the return of Deku. They don't want him back. They say Shigaraki was targeting some kid, and he's the one, isn't he?
Well, this stinks.
And just looking at Deku's face right here, he is agreeing with the crowd. He doesn't want to be here and put all of them in danger. He's like, see? This is exactly what I was talking about.
Testing.
And we can see President Mike with a megaphone trying to calm the crowd down. But why is he using a megaphone? Out of all the characters, he's the one that needs that the least. He could just use his quirk to yell at the crowd to calm down. But then again, if he did do that, he would probably blow out the eardrums of all the people protesting, so he probably wants to avoid that. Hey now! Take a chill pill, folks! Didn't you all hear the principal's explanation? He guaranteed our safety no matter what. What, and you were convinced by that crap? We abandoned our homes and came here because we thought we'd be safe. So what's this ticking time bomb doing here? Why's it gotta be UA, huh? Let him hide someplace else. And as the crowd is just yelling at Deku, we see him just standing there taking this all in.
Goodbye.
And we see him just turn around and getting ready to leave.
Hey!
But we see Ochako stepping up and grabbing a hold of Deku's hand, stopping him in his tracks.
What?
And you just see this shocked look on Deku as he turns around to stare at Ochako, who is just looking back at him with this gentle smile on her face.
Deku is giving his all to reach his goal. No room for anything else. I'll focus on working just as hard as he does. And reach my dream. I want to save people. Are you okay?
Hey, it's okay. Iida and them started linking this chain. Bakugo played his part too. We're not letting go of you now. We won't let you. Because when heroes need protecting, who will be there to protect them? Let's go, Ochako. She is getting ready to put those words into action, and she is going to save Deku in this moment. She looks absolutely beautiful in this final panel shot, and I would not be surprised with her stopping Deku and grabbing his hand. She is turning around and getting ready to confront the crowd that is yelling at Deku. I can't wait to see what she is about to do. That right there is the end of the chapter. Next chapter hits August 22nd.
Deku's always been desperate to realize his dream, and it's true that his struggles have inspired me to work harder. But a simple dream can be hard to achieve. I've watched Deku fight desperately to help those in need, and it's made me wonder, who protects the heroes whenever they're the ones who are hurting the most?
Yo, I don't even care that we have another break coming up. How does Horikoshi keep doing this week after week after week? Just giving us amazing chapter after amazing chapter. It is insane. And this chapter is no exception, especially with the standout moment of having Bakugo apologizing to Deku. That has been a long time coming and has been built up since chapter 1. And now that it has happened, I'm curious on how it's going to affect Deku and Bakugo's relationship, their friendship, and their rivalry moving forward, because despite getting the apology, there is still a lot that needs to be talked about between these two, and I look forward for when that does eventually happen. But the ending of the chapter has me very, very excited for what Ochako is about to do, because she's about to stand up for her man and protect and save him in this moment from the civilians that are trying to push him out of UA. She grabbed a hold of Deku's hand, stopped him from leaving, and it looks like she was getting ready to turn around and confront the crowd, and I'm hoping she is about to get her moment, because Iida got a moment, Bakugo got a moment. It is now Ochaco's turn, and I am very excited to see what Horikoshi has planned for her. So with that, guys, that right there is my live reaction to chapter 322 of My Hero Academia. But for now, I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts on the events of this chapter. And what do you guys think of the apology that we finally got between Bakugo and Deku and how it went down? What were your guys' thoughts on getting to see the new UA barrier, as well as the citizens rejecting Deku, and then going into next chapter, what do you guys think Ochako will be doing in order to save Deku in this moment? Leave your guys' thoughts down in the comments below, and feel free to subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon that you guys can be alerted for every new MHA reaction that pops up on the channel. But if you guys want to talk about other things or talk about MHA outside of YouTube, feel free to also follow me over on Twitter. A link to my Twitter account can also be found in the description down below. But that's going to do it for me here, guys. So in 2 weeks' time, when we come back from the break with chapter 323, I'll talk to you guys next time. But remember, go beyond, plus ultra!